Are there any more questions?
Well, thank you very much. It's extremely informative, and I look forward to meet you soon.
I appreciate that. Okay. Hey, you all. Welcome to the 2026 China Sourcing Tour trip information session. I am so excited y'all are here. I'm going to be going over just full details about the trip, why the trip is important, why we do the trip. I think I also have individuals on the line who are going on a trip. I have some individuals probably who popped in who've already gone on a trip, so we can ask questions at the end of the session. If you do have an immediate question, just leave it in the chat and I will answer it as we go along and during the presentation. So welcome, everybody. Again, this is a trip that's going to go over everything that we need. If you are a business owner, if you're a seasoned business owner, if you're just getting started, this session is definitely going to give you enough insight to help you with the transition in regards to if I want to, come to China or not, or do one of these tours. I found it very, very, very helpful to do these information sessions simply because when people post or they have something on social media, hey, come over here, hey, do this, hey, do that. Guess what, y'all? They don't give you all the full details. And then they tell you, you know what, go to the website and, figure it out, right? I typically start these information sessions a year or in a year before. So the people who are in my tour now, besides two of them, because literally 3 days ago, two people signed up to join, but the ones who have been in the tour, they started this session. They had this session back in June of 2024. So they've been with me for over a year, planning and implementing things for this October 2025 tour. So again, I'll go into more detail in regards to that throughout the presentation. Now, who am I? Why do you all want to pay me money to come on a China tour and literally jump across the world to meet me? My name is Chevy. I am a sourcing agent. I've been a sourcing agent for 17 years. Some of you all just found out about me. I know that TikTok and the algorithms kind of push out content when it wants to, but I've been around for a long time. A large portion of my customers, they've been with me for 15, 10, 5 years, and I've been doing strategic sourcing with them. On top of the, in regards to sourcing, I've sourced for major brands as well. I used to do China tours, and then COVID took us out. And this year will be the first year since 2018. We had a trip booked for 2019 and so on and so forth, right? But I had to cancel that trip. Obviously, our entire world was in a pandemic, and those individuals weren't able to make it. And so once I told people like, hey, I'm starting back up again, I got a really good response, and I didn't know that people still wanted to come. So they are coming. I source apparel, I source furniture, we source consumer goods, hair care products. It really doesn't matter. I've sourced it. With the major brands, you probably have products in your home that I sourced. So, which is amazing for me because I'm able to give my customers more of a personal, in-depth sourcing solution other than me saying, hey, come over here with me. I can help you source on Alibaba for something. No, it goes a lot deeper than that. I've lived in 5 different countries. I've sourced in 43 different countries around the world. And I sourced under 57 different categories. So for example, if it's a pair of jeans, I've sourced different types of jeans up under that category. So just giving you a FYI. But yes, I do have people coming. I've had people come throughout the years. And I live in China. I've been in China for the last 7 years with my family, my entire family. We work as a unit here, and I'll give you a little bit more information about that as we go along. So that's a little bit about me. Now, the trip overview, coming in to China, this is a business trip, okay? It is designed for business owners, for entrepreneurs. If you want to visit the suppliers, inspect the products yourself, negotiating the prices. You want to definitely solidify these relationships, because a lot of these suppliers, if they see you coming, they're like, oh, wow, this person is serious about it. And I want to, meet with them, and they didn't pay their money to come out all across the world for this. It helps you in the long run as a business owner. So you're going to get a lot of information. You're going to be able to streamline your sourcing, improve your quality control, and just expand your business opportunities. I've had people come to China for one thing and they left doing something completely different, because that's just how it works, right? China is massive, it is big, and it is unbelievable. And that's why I want so many people to come here. The session is about an hour long, depending on what the Q&A and how we're going to do the Q&A session. Again, this is a business trip. Children under the age of 18 are not allowed to come. I did say they could. I was saying it last year, but for the Canton Fairs, which we're not going to really talk about the Canton Fairs at all in this session, because my trips are not around the Canton Fairs. But some of these manufacturers and also the Canton Fair, you have to be 18 years old to attend. So again, for this trip, I definitely am not a babysitter, right? You're spending a lot of money and you don't want your child after day 2 or 3. I'm bored, I'm tired, it's a lot of walking, I don't want to do this, I want to go sit in a hotel. And it's just not going to be, a good experience for you, when you're coming, if you have someone under the age of 18. So just keep that in mind. This session is not about moving to China. Okay. I know a lot of people have questions, have asked me, what do you do over there? How can I start a business? How can you move? I will not be discussing that either. And then also in this session, we're going to be talking about the payment arrangements. So the benefits of coming to China, I hope you all know what the benefits are, but it's definitely you all, again, solidifying those relationships, importing your goods, talking to the manufacturers, and just being right here with them. So when people come on my tour, it's more than you meeting a supplier off of Alibaba or the Canton Fair. We're going to go way beyond that. And some of the suppliers, manufacturers, places that we're going to go, they're not on Alibaba. They're not being shown on social media because people don't know about them. And a large portion of the suppliers that you will go to, or the wholesale markets, again, that situation, we may go to a wholesale market and nobody out of 2,000-3,000 stores, none of them are on Alibaba. So you're going to get a personalized experience where, wow, no one else, may not in the US may not even know about this supplier, and almost like an exclusive deal, right? With you coming, you're going to be able to negotiate prices when you are coming with me. That's all I do. I negotiate the price. I make sure the prices are good enough for you to say, all right, yes, I'm gonna go with this supplier. Again, you want to diversify your suppliers as well, your manufacturers. I keep telling people, major brands, when you all come to me and say, I want Fashion Nova, or I want Shein, or I want Lululemon, these businesses, these companies, they have hundreds of suppliers in different countries. For example, Lululemon, they have 163 manufacturers that they work with, and only like 20 of them are actually from China. The rest of them are from all over the world. So at least you will be able to come in and diversify this area when it comes to your suppliers. And of course, building strong relationships with the suppliers as well. So next year, we're going on 3 amazing trips. I am going to break down each trip, what is included, why we're doing what we're doing, so on and so forth, and all the dates and all that good stuff. So the first trip is a 7-day trip, and that is going to be in Guangzhou, China, in the Guangdong province. Okay. The Guangdong province is Dongguan, Guangzhou, Shenzhen, Foshan, Shenzhen, Foshan, Dongguan. I forgot one. It's 4 or 5 different cities in this area that we will be exploring. So it won't just be Guangzhou. We will land in Guangzhou. That will be a hub for us, but we will be in the Guangdong province. We're going to visit within that 7 days. We're going to have the opportunity to visit at least 3 cities: Guangzhou, Foshan, however you want to pronounce it, and Shenzhen. These places in China are so overwhelming. It's so much stuff to do. So when we are visiting these cities, we're going to be there doing a tour for the day. And I'll break down like what a day is and all of that stuff in a second. So you all can say, okay, in the morning time, we'll do this. Afternoon, we're going to do this, blah, 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 right? So for this tour, it is a 7-day tour. It's 6 spots for this tour. But for this tour, I actually only have, when I looked last, I believe 1 spot left. This tour is very popular because for my babies that could not come this year, they already had their deposits for next year. And I didn't even plan these tours out yet. So all of them said, you have it, you have my deposit. I'm going to send you the rest of the money for this tour. And I think I only have one. Maybe I might be able to squeeze one more person in for this Guangzhou tour. So if you are considering coming on this tour, it is very imperative that you pay the deposit and all of that. And we'll talk about that in a second, and to come. So the reason why I decided to have these tours this year during the summertime is, again, I service my customers and my clients, and a large portion of them cannot leave their families for a whole week or 2 weeks in April or October for the Canton fairs, which is good for them because I don't need the Canton fairs. You're not even going to miss the fair. And I tell people, if you're in the U.S. and if you want to get a taste of the Canton Fair, go to the Magic Sourcing Show in the U.S. I think it's in L.A. I can't remember which city it's in. Go to that. That'll be your tour right there, your fair. If you want to experience more than that, then coming on the tour, even in the summertime, is very, very, very beneficial. A large portion of what we're going to be experiencing, even this October, is not going to be at the tours. Now, at the fairs. Now, for the fairs, they're really great, how can I say this, bucket list things that people want to do as an entrepreneur. But for me, they're amazing for me as a sourcing agent because I can just start, getting everybody's card so I can go visit them later. But for the tours, there are a lot of disadvantages. You have millions of people there. You're standing at booths. You're waiting to talk to a supplier, and almost all the suppliers are going to tell you, here's my bank card. I wish they would say that, Jal. Here is my business card. Come see me at my factory. At the tours, reason why people stay for 2 weeks is because the first week they will go on the tour. They will go on the reason why people come to the Canton fairs for 2 weeks or China for 2 weeks for this purpose. The first week they do all of the fair stuff. They'll get the suppliers. The second week, y'all know that they go to the warehouses and the factories and stuff, because the suppliers are so busy. These manufacturers are busy talking to millions of people at these fairs, and you're just not going to get what you need out of them majority of the time. So that's why coming during a Canton fair is nice, is cute, but all in all, a lot of people, when they leave, they say, wow, it's great, but I really didn't get the fullness of me coming to China. And that's why I don't want to do fairs anymore. Tours anymore around the Canton fairs. So we have a couple of comments. Yes, Vegas. Thank you. I was trying to think of, somebody said bank card. Exactly. Okay. The second tour, which will be July the 20th. So yes, you saw that right. The 19th, you all going to hit the road. I'm going to take a break. People probably will be coming in on the 19th. And I'm getting ready on the 20th for my second tour. So this one is a 12-day tour. And the reason why this one is a 12-day tour is because we are going to a city called Yiwu. Yiwu is a country within China. Okay. This is the biggest wholesale city in the world. When you get off the planes, the trains, the buses, okay, out of the taxi, there are maps all around the city showing you which area the toys are in, which area you can get hair, jeans, socks, panties. It is unbelievable. So we're going to spend 3 days in Yiwu. We're also going to spend some days in the Guangdong area. So for the 7-day tour and also the 12-day China and Yiwu tour, we're going to go to some of the same cities, but I'm going to add a couple of more cities onto this 12-day tour, obviously Yiwu. So if you are a department store owner, if you own a convenience store, Yiwu is definitely the city in the tour to go on. Again, this trip only has 6 spots. I think I only have 3 for this trip. I know for sure I only have 3 for this one. The dates are July the 20th through the 31st. And let me go back. I forgot to mention for the trips, the flight and the visas are not included. And I'll talk a little bit about that. For the flights, I help everyone basically everybody that's coming on my tours. I help them find the flights. We usually use a website called trip.com. When you pay the deposit, you will be privy to the Chinese websites that we use as well, where you can get round trip tickets for $600, $700, $800. And then the visa process, the reason why the visa is not included in the price is because when I go to the website, and you will see in a little bit, the visa application, you can apply for your visa application on my website. But China also offers a free visa situation. And I'll talk a little bit about that visa situation a little later. But that is the reason why we don't do the flights. Now, the last tour, which is my favorite, is the Hong Kong tour. And for Hong Kong and the China tour, this is a 12-day tour. We will spend 3 days in Hong Kong. I'm considering spending 4 days. I haven't quite decided yet, but this, a lot of people don't know about the manufacturing and the shipping ports and all of that, the tourist attractions, all that good stuff in Hong Kong. So we're definitely going to spend some days there. And then again, we're coming back to China, to the Guangdong area, Shenzhen area. This trip again is 6 spots, August 18th through the 19th. The flight and the visa is not included. However, for this trip, I do have 4 spots available for the China and the Hong Kong trip. Now, for Hong Kong, if you are a US citizen, you don't need a passport as of today. A visa as of today. You don't need a Hong Kong visa. Again, I say the word as of today because I don't know in regards to what is going to take place with our government and our visa situation going in and out. But as far as I know right now, you do not have to get a visa. Okay, for Hong Kong. And again, for China, you can get the visa. We'll talk about the visa in a second, but this is a 12-day tour. Now, you're probably guessing, how am I going to prepare for this trip? And that is an easy answer. So preparing for this trip, obviously we have to be organized. I want things to run smoothly. And I'm going to go through a step-by-step guide on how to do that. And you will receive a guide. I will show y'all what that guide is. But the very first thing I tell people is that you have to have a valid passport and your visas have to be valid. If you already have your Chinese visa, you have to go make sure it's valid. The tourist visa is an L visa or the free visa. So let me go a little bit about into this free visa situation. For China, you can fly into, I think, over 20 different provinces in China. Don't quote me, or cities. I cannot remember. However, everyone that's coming with us is flying into Guangzhou. Now, this information is not easily found on any websites or anything. I literally got this information about the free visa from WeChat, from a Chinese person speaking Chinese. She was talking about the free visa, so on and so forth. And I was like, wait a minute, they didn't tell us about this. So this is how you get the free visa. When you are flying into China, your entry city must be different than your departure city. So your arrival and your arrival and your departure countries, they must be different. For example, my arrival country will be United States. My departure country is going to be Hong Kong, right? Now, your departure country cannot be a layover. It must be the final destination. Then you can book your flight to go to your, original destination. So the easiest thing I'm telling people to do is, even the individuals that are coming in October with me, is that they are flying in from the US, okay? They are staying in China. They are going to fly to Hong Kong. From Guangzhou to Hong Kong is literally a 30 minute, I don't even think it's 30-minute flight. It's literally right there. It's 30 minutes tops, right? And so you can, obviously, that's your final destination. And then you can get a connecting flight that same day or afternoon to fly to wherever country you're coming from. So just be mindful about those free visas. It can be a little bit tricky. As of today, okay? As of today, I am not for sure if you need anything in your actual passport, because before they did this, you needed some type of sticker. So I'm telling everybody, if you want the free visa route, you contact your local or national Chinese consulate or the Chinese embassy. Okay. This is very, very important, because I don't want anybody to come here and then they not have everything they need and then have to fly back out. China is not one of these places where you come and they're very understanding. All right. If you get the tourist L visa, it's for 10 years. It used to be $140. Now people are telling me it's $190. Now, if you are not used to getting visas and all of that stuff, you probably want to hire an agent. An agent can cost you anywhere between $350 to $450. Just keep that in mind. I do have some agencies, but if you are near an embassy, you can do a Chinese embassy, you can do all of this stuff yourself. It's just making sure that the application is right. I walk you through the application if you're not going to use an agent. I got my Chinese visa. When did I get it? We got it. We got one last year in the US because we were doing like some traveling back and forth. Last year, we got a visa to come back into China. And that visa took us about 4 days in Chicago because I'm from Northwest Indiana. So we just went up to Chicago, took us 3 days. We were done, right? This year, I flew in from Thailand because I was living in Thailand. So from Thailand to China, when we got to because I was in one city and then we went to Bangkok, and I'm thinking, oh, 3 days, 4 days tops, we'll be in a hotel. We ended up staying in a hotel for 2 weeks because the application and the approval process takes 10 days. Then they told us it takes 3 to 4 days for expedition to get them expedited. So this visa situation, it keeps changing. It keeps changing every single day. Okay, someone has a question. Do you know if I can say it, but can I make that happen with my agent? If you have an agent, I would recommend going with an agent. What industries or categories are 3 cities? So we'll talk about how the trips are going to go in regards to when you all come, because with the trips, they are catered to those who are coming. And the cities are vast with products. So if we're talking about Guangzhou is a ton of consumer goods, furniture as well, like it's electronics. We go to Shenzhen, they are big on electronics. If we go to Foshan, y'all know that's furniture for Foshan, right? So each city is going to have something different that we're going to go and visit. If I have people coming on the tour, like right now, I have people who are in apparel. Obviously, we're going to see apparel. We have an eye doctor coming. We're going to see glasses for her. Someone is into jewelry, beads and stuff. We're going to the jewelry and, bead markets and so on and so forth. And someone else is in something else. I can't even remember. But we are literally catering the agenda. And my agendas, they do not go out until everybody let me know, okay, what are your interests? Then I put together the agendas. If we're going to the wholesale market, so on and so forth. So just be mindful of that. Okay, has the list for cheaper tickets already been sent to the October participants? Melanie, so Melanie is one of our participants. Yes, so Melanie, I will send you, Melanie just signed up, yesterday or day before yesterday? I am going to send you that list in our group, okay, for the cheaper tickets, and I'll walk you through that website. I have a European passport. I believe I do not need a visa. That's cool, Coco. I love it. No, I have specific agent on that. Oh, you have an agent that's helping you through the process. Okay, May. See, May she's trying to get to China. So I'm targeted based on attendees. Also, so depending on, this is the reason why I've been doing my China tours this way, is because you're paying money to come. You don't want to pay money, and it says Zoom user, so I don't know your name. Why are you going to pay thousands of dollars to come someplace and then I tell you what you're going to do? No, you're going to let me know what you want to do, and we're going to plan the trip around that. That is the most. Oh, thanks, Chad. Am I saying it right? That is the most. That's the best. I believe that's the best. And again, you want the most out of your money. And that's another reason why the Canton fairs, I'm not really that stuck on them, because people pay $20,000 plus. You can Google any Amazon group that's coming and that have come to that. Basically, they come to China. These Amazon groups, they come with 50 people, 30 people, 100 people, right? Just for the Canton fairs. And these people paying $20,000 just for that, not to go visit other cities, not to go. They are only in Guangzhou, of all places. They're just in Guangzhou, paying $20,000 to stay in Guangzhou for a week. To me, I think that is horrible to have to pay somebody $20,000 to go to a fair, and you're not going to get everything that you came came for. So a lot of those individuals, they come in April. Then they turn around, they come in October because they didn't get everything they needed in April. Who has $40,000 to do that? So that's why when you all come on my trip, they are catered to those who are coming. And I'm very serious about that. So preparing for these cultural differences, I will help you along the way. Obviously, you all will be with me. We will be talking to, manufacturers and how they communicate and all of the nuances of that. Just be prepared. We're going to go over Chinese cultural. Wait, I have another question. I really would like to know if it's possible to go in October. May, we'll talk, we can talk afterwards, but I'll definitely answer that question. Chinese individuals, we have a mixed bag of tricks when it comes to the Chinese. You have the super ooper, just nice and friendly and lovey-dovey. And then you have the mean street. It's so many people here. We don't have time to be messing around. What do you want? Attitude stricken. And then you have certain nuances and things that you can and cannot do here. And we're going to go over all of those once, you booked and ready to go on a trip. Packing and travel essentials. China is not, I don't want to say the most allergenic or clean. I don't want to use the word clean. But you have to understand, in Chinese culture, it's not common for them to have like toilet tissue in the bathrooms, right? Soap in the bathrooms. They don't wash their hands culturally with like soap. They use water. How can I say this without being negative? But let me just say this. When you are coming.
Hygienic.
Thank you. When you are coming, you will get a care packet. I will have all the essentials in there for you when you come. So you don't have culture shock. And I like to tell people that some places in China, if you have bad knees, hold it. You're not going to the bathroom because you will be using the bathroom in the toilets, and a large portion of their toilets are in the ground. So if we're going on a factory tour, 100% of them, the factory tours, the toilets are in the ground. This is China, right? So, and the factories are in rural areas a lot. And you will see when you come the difference between when we're in a hotel in the area, around the hotels and the rural areas. We'll say, as we say in the US, the urban areas. Okay. China has urban areas as well. So we just want to be mindful of that. So you're packing essentials. This is not a fashion show. Okay. It's hot in July and August. You will be walking a lot. You're going to be sweating. I tell people all the time, wear comfortable shoes. When we're doing our sightseeing events, we're going to the glass bridge. The glass bridge walking up is 2,000 stairs. So we do a lot of walking in these factories. They don't like to take elevators. Some of these factories don't have elevators. Some of them have 5 floors, 4 floors. So when individuals are saying, Chevy, I don't want to pay you to go to the manufacturer. It's a lot of work. We're going to be traveling a lot because within the Guangdong area, these cities are within 2 hours, an hour and a half. So again, we're going to be in the vans and things of that nature. So packing comfortable clothes are essential. Okay, they are essential. Health and safety considerations. We'll talk a little bit about the medical, and if you have any health issues, we're going to talk about safety issues in regards to the hotels and things of that nature in China. But to be honest, China is relatively safe. I haven't had any issues with safety being here. I know things are here. I'm not oblivious to that, just like any country. However, the places that I'm going to be taking you all are relatively safe. When you come, you're going to also get my China guide. This is a 30-page guide. When you all come to China, you have to I call it Chinafy your phones, your computers, your life. You cannot come to China with the eSIMs. Listen. China blocks everything. They block eSIMs. They block all the social media platforms. I have a router in my home. We have VPNs on our phones. It's real cute. You might be able to download the little, Apple or Android app that's on the App Store. But I'm gonna tell you one thing: when you get to China, it may not work. It may not work, and you will be saying, Chevy, what is a good VPN to use? Because I can't even use my phone. I've had people land in the airport calling me from some Chinese number, and I was not going to answer it because I didn't know what it was. An individual called, and this person was crying because she couldn't even get out the airport. China has 1 billion people. A large portion of them are not trying to stop. The police will look at you and say, and keep it moving. If you're not causing any crime, honey, if you're just crying, they like, that's fine. And you can continue to cry, right? So you have to be mindful that you have to prepare to come. You have to prepare all these. And I know some of you are like, what, 30 pages? Yes, it's a 30-page guide. And I walk you through all the apps you're going to need. I walk you through how to set up the apps. I'll walk you through the agendas that we are going to be keeping, why we have that agenda, so on and so forth. All of this information is in that guide. So when you sign up, you can get the guide. If you need the guide, and I'm going to talk about my one-on-one tours in a second, but if you come on a one-on-one tour, you can purchase the guide as well. Or if you want to come by yourself and say, Chevy, I don't need you, I just want to come. And that's fine as well, because I'm not oblivious to that either. You can get the guide to help you set yourself up. In the guide is very well detailed. It has so much information in there that you're going to need in order to be successful on your China tour. The last thing in regards to preparing for the trip is, if you all did not know, I am a software developer. I develop apps as well. And I do have a China tour app with all the amenities, information, every single thing that you're going to need, even for those who are coming. For my babes that are coming in October, if I can get my app up and running, it's done. I just have not had the time to put it up on the app stores. So the ones who are coming, you may not be able to, the app may not be available for you all. But if you're coming next year, okay, if you are coming next year, let me pause this for a second. If you are coming next year, this app will be available. It's going to go over all kinds of stuff, all details, everything that you need for the trip, to signing up to the trip, so on and so forth, your visa information. And it's also will be used for when you are on the trip. And the reason being is, when you come on the trip, you're going to need, please mute yourselves. Sorry about that. When you come on the trip, say for instance, if we're going to see a manufacturer, what if we saw 10 manufacturers? They're going to give you business cards and all of that. Well, instead of you carrying around business cards, you will be able to scan them and upload it to your app. So you'll have your own personal little, storage and all of that. Also, you can take pictures. I will be posting like all the pictures and the feeds and stuff from the China tour on the app. If you get lost, okay, from my app, all you have to do is pin your location and we can come to you and things of that nature. So it's very comprehensive for the ones that are coming and for the ones who are already on the tour. So that app is done. Like I said, hopefully it's up and running before our tour. So business sessions and tools. This is what everybody is hounding me about. Okay. So yes, during our tour, you're going to have business sessions. Okay. And we're going to be talking about constantly coming with me. If we're in a factory, I'm going to be, going over what's going on with this manufacturer and talking about this and negotiation. We're going to be doing a lot of stuff. So we're going to have welcome sessions when you get to the hotel. We're going to have supplier meeting sessions. So these suppliers, what you need to say, how you need to say it, how you need to act, all of this. And I know you all are like, Chevy, why so many sessions? Because you're going to need them in order to be successful. You have to understand how to work with the Chinese, because I want you to get the most out of your money, right? I want you to get the best deals. I want you to be able to get the best, have the sound relationships. So we're going to have these sessions. We're going to have a product and a quality control session when you come. We're going to have a negotiation and deals finalization session when you come, so you can learn how to negotiate. You're going to have some sessions with me first, right? Then I'm going to throw you out there. It's like, okay, we at your supplier. What you going to say? How you going to talk to them? I'm going to be there coaching you through it, but we're going to have these sessions. So we're going to have lecture and lab. You're going to get out there, and I want to see you doing, what's best and using best practices on these sessions we're going to have throughout that week or 7 days or 12 days next year. The other thing are sourcing tools, different platforms we're going to use, different platforms. Hey, y'all coming with me, I'm going to give y'all everything, okay? Because you paid your money. And my husband is sitting right here. He just came off of one of his meetings. I'll introduce him in a second. But it's something that he always tell me, if they want your attention, they'll pay for it. That's why it's called pay attention. So if you pay, you will get those platforms, and you're going to get those tools and strategies when you come on the tour. And then the China tour group, once you sign up, you are put in the WhatsApp group, and I just start feeding you all this information. I try to do an online kind of group, but I've noticed a large portion of people that I communicate with are business owners, and the last thing they need is another login and want to be online and this, that, and the other. So we're going to use our CB Sourcing business WhatsApp group for that. So before we get into the medical, I just wanted my husband, his name is Logic. He is our quality inspector for Total Space Furniture. And did you want to say something really fast? These are the individuals. This is the free information session for the China tours for 2026. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Greetings. Thank you for taking the time or allowing us to service you. It's an honor and a privilege to talk to business owners or people who have an interest in expanding their opportunities, expanding their network, or just exploring something that you've always wanted to explore. And so thankfully, you got some people over here who are learning and experiencing from 1 week to the next. Whatever you're going to encounter informs you for this type of experience, so that when others come, you can help them avoid, if possible, or to deal with the issues that come with being in other places, dealing with other cultures, and getting what you want out of your experience. Like, a lot of people don't talk about that enough. Sometimes you want someone that has the resources so you can get what you want out of your experience, as opposed to just going through an experience. No, get what you want from it. If you're dealing with a vendor and they're not handling what you need, or they're not addressing what you need addressed, you want to have some support so that you get what you're paying for and you get something out of your experience.
Okay, so thank you. You're gonna sit here.
Yeah, I'm
okay.
here. I'm here.
My man's gonna sit and finish out. Okay, so the next thing is the medical and hospital. Okay, so this part of the trip is very important. Yes, I read some of you all's comments about you got to be in shape, this, that, and the other. Yes, you do. Walking around China. It's very important. I know the U.S., we have something called HIPAA laws, and you can't tell people about your medical, this, that. I don't want your medical history in that sense, but I need to know, okay? If you have any knee problems or this or that, I would recommend probably bringing a notice from the doctor, maybe, or something like that. If you have medications, bring in medications, because it's very, very important. So the first thing we're going to talk about is the hotel team. So the hotels that we typically stay in, at the front desk, obviously you're going to give them a copy of your passport, and we're going to let them know which room needs medical help. For instance, I have someone who has diabetes. We're going to make sure that there is a refrigerator in the room for that individual, so on and so forth, things of that nature, right? So we want to make sure that you are comfortable as well when you are coming. The other thing is with the hospitals. When you get here, our meetings, our welcome meetings, we're going to have the opportunity to drive from the hotel to the hospital, so you all can see where it is. And the hotel staff will be well equipped with, hey, these are the folks for this tour. If they need to go to the hospital, they know which hospital to call. Also, we would need those medical records. We don't have to give them per se to the hotel staff, but I do need them if you have to go to the hospital, so on and so forth. Even if you have to go to the hospital late at night, my husband and I, we're not staying in the hotels because we live here. We're going to be in our homes. But if you call me 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, Shavy, I got to go to the hospital, I'm right there with you. I got your paperwork, and we're going to be in the hospital taking care of you, making sure you're okay. Again, another thing is these pharmacies and medications. If you have the medications, obviously you will be bringing them. But China, if y'all didn't know, you can purchase your medications over the counter, a large portion of them. So for instance, if you need sometimes blood pressure, metformin, like things of this nature, you can literally go into the pharmacy and purchase this stuff. So again, if you're low on, maybe you didn't bring enough high blood pressure medicine or something, we can try to find a pharmacist. We can order some even on Alipay or Meituans and the different apps as well. But in order to do that, we would need your prescription and like a doctor's statement. So if you do have any type of medical conditions, please, 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 please get a written doctor's statement from your doctor saying this person has this, these are the medications, so on and so forth. Keep that stuff on you, okay? If you have allergies. So when everyone comes, you're going to get a lanyard. On the back of the lanyard is going to be Chinese writing. So if we're going to a restaurant, if we do have to rush you to the hospital, that stuff will be readily available. People are allergic to milk, to peanuts, to shellfish, so on and so forth. And I need to be able, because China, they have allergies,
but they don't really focus on it.
Yeah, it's not like they're not going to tell you, hey, this burger was made next to or on top of a piece of fish, right? So every time we go someplace, if you have any type of allergies or medical or whatever the case may be, please, please, please let me know, because that needs to be on your medical form. You will receive a medical form, okay? And that way I can have that stuff on your lanyards. You have to wear them every day. Just in case, or have them on you every day in your backpack or something. So that way, if something goes down, we can pull it out and all your stuff is on there. Your emergency contacts I would need as well. And making sure that your insurance cards are updated. You can also get international health insurance as well if you like. It's completely up to you. If you have a certain form to fill out from your, what are those? The claims. If you're having a medical claims form, do not forget to download a few medical claims forms, or one. We can probably make a copy or something here in China, but bring those medical claims forms. So when you go into the hospital, we can get a hospital certificate and they call them hospital certificates, and your medical records and the billing information from the hospital here in China. So you're able to file that claim along with your FAPIAO. A FAPIAO is your receipt it means invoice in Chinese. So you'll get the FAPIAO and all this other stuff. That way you can put it with your form. They can probably even fill it out for you. All right. So this, I have to stress this, because it's very, very important. You are going to another country. You're around places you've never been. If you have any type of medical, physical, mental, whatever the case may be, you have to let me know, because I want to make sure that we accommodate those. If you have a physical disability, some people say, well, I'm in a wheelchair, this, and the other. I don't mind if you come. This is the issue. You won't be able to do much. And my husband explained that portion.
There are some, China's, even though it's very advanced in some ways, and in other ways it's very traditional. From something as simple as a bathroom that has no toilet and there's a hole. That's very practical here in China. And so some of those limitations, like going into a warehouse that doesn't have an elevator and there's 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 flights of stairs. And many times there, and I say this, it's going to seem very generalized, but many times the individual is used to what they're used to, and they're not used to accommodating other people. So then in a communist country where differentiating or customizing something for someone else, that may not be something that they're used to. And if that's what you're used to, by informing us of what some of your limitations may be or what have you, we can properly prepare as far as, if we all moving at a pace, running up some stairs, and that's not your thing, then, or if you got to have a snack because of whatever medication you're on or something to drink, those are things that wouldn't be considered an inconvenience. It is hospitality. And so that's important.
Okay. So the cost and coverage, if you all know me, if you've been following me, so on and so forth, I'm very transparent. I do not blink when it comes to finances, and I want to make sure everything is comprehensive and upfront. So this tour, again, it is designed for entrepreneurs, for business owners, and for those who can afford to come on the trip. The deposit is a non-refundable deposit. When you pay your deposit, we have to start the process with hotels and everything else. Let me just be very, very, very clear. When we are booking hotels in China, especially like this year around the Canton Fair, these hotels and the cost of these hotels, they go up and up and up. Mm-hmm. We are looking at a hotel we used to rent out maybe $100 a night. Now it's $350 a night. I'm not telling you to give me money to put in my bank account. I will tell you right now, we aren't banks. I don't hold your money. I don't want to hold your money. I don't want to do that. So when you pay, your deposit is not refundable. When you pay your monthly payments after 7 days, they're non-refundable. So please, I am saying that. We had one individual, she said that I was not clearly on the checkout, on the website, in this information session, every single thing is laid out for you. My fee is $2,000 for my trip. All the other money is going towards the amenities for the trips, the trip fees, the cost. There is a $600 agent fee. That agent fee is not coming to me. The agent fee is the Chinese company that I use to help us negotiating the transportation or the hotel, so on and so forth. So the two main costs that will not change is the sourcing fee and the agency fee. Now you're saying, okay, the website say this much, that much, so on and so forth. If I can find some deals at the end of the trip, as I told y'all before, I'm not a bank. I will let you all know, hey, I was able to save us $200 a piece per night on the room. You're going to get a refund back of $1,000, $1,500. I don't know any of that yet until we start booking. Go ahead.
The other thing is, and it may sound like a very fundamental thing, but it needs to be stated. It actually does cost money to make money, meaning it costs money just to receive the money and it costs money to send it back. So those expenses are there every single step of the way when people are making deposits, as well as when people are sending funds, because you have to convert it from USD for some to yuan, and there's always a fee. And so you should be aware of that as well. If you're coming or when you come to China, even if you're using your American bank, sometimes it could be anywhere to 30 or 40 extra dollars just to get that transaction done on the American side because China's basically making a loan to pay for it and go back or do the exchange.
With the 7-day non-refund goes into we've already transferred the funds. And so to transfer those funds back, you may lose $200, because we're transferring it here, putting it in the account, paying the agent, paying this, paying that. And then if I need to get the money and transfer it back to the US, and wire transferring and things of that nature takes about 7 to 10 business days when I am doing those wire transfers.
And releasing money, as much as these banks tell you that they're international, they are really not. They're very local. And so if you have a large sum of money that you're trying to transfer at a certain amount of time, banks are getting loans from each other. And so it's going to take time. Even if you're doing like Cash App or Alipay or WeChat Pay or Apple Pay, these are basically like loans. As a banker told us once in Hong Kong, we don't have foreign fiat sitting around, foreign currency. We have to get that approved. Maybe at an airport, but anywhere else, even there, they need approval to get those foreign currency or foreign fiat in the country.
If we have to do a deposit, obviously for a refund for national disasters, we will try our best to do it. If someone just cannot make it or whatever the case may be, we'll try to work something out in regards to probably doing another tour, or if they just cannot, it's a case by case kind of scenario. After the trip, then we will go into, okay, if you're not going to be able to make it for whatever reason, yada, yada, yada. There are also and I have this information on my website, what the refund policy is, and also what the percentage is if we have to refund you your money. So just be mindful of that. When you pay your deposit, you are agreeing to the terms and services to this trip. So I want to make sure everybody has all this stuff up front. Again, I'm very transparent, very open. I have nothing to hide when it comes to these things, and I want people to know where it is going towards. Obviously, we will pick you up from the airport. The cost also entails the hotel. I don't know why I didn't put the hotel, but it's the hotel, your breakfast. The reason why it doesn't include the lunch and dinner is because we are going to be doing a lot of moving. I talked earlier about about China. China closes when I talk about the agenda. China is a different kind of country. During the day for 2.5 hours or 2 hours, the entire country is kind of asleep. They're on lunch between 11 and 2:30. So during that time, we're going to be able to go out and catch something for lunch. Lunch is typically anywhere between $10 to $12, and the same with dinner. So that's the only thing that you will have to come out of pocket for in regards to the trip per se, when you are in China. So the money that you are paying will go towards the ground transportation, obvious the fees, any events that we're going to, the sightseeing. The last thing I want someone to do is to have to pay for a trip. And then when you get here, you paying for everything. Like, what is the point of doing that? So we want to just make sure that the process is easy for you when you come in, and we take care of everything, hotels, so on and so forth. So just, again, be mindful that the only thing that you really have to come out of pocket with is your lunch and dinner, and then obviously the agency fee.
And we're growing a business as well, because most people won't take that leap to come, or you've spent a boatload of money with somebody else. As we're growing this business, we can, because if we know in advance that there are more people coming, and the more time we spend in the country and the more secure that those individuals who are coming are, then we could schedule, a dinner at a large facility and things like that. We do have that as a potential, depending on how each person's needs are. It's a need-based trip. So if you are a business owner and your factory or visit is way out somewhere, and it's going to take a lot for us to actually source in that, then it's going to dictate to the schedule. And so to plan that without being sensitive to each person that's coming on the trip as a group, that requires some flexibility. But as far as buying food to eat here, everybody doesn't eat everything. So we also don't want to assume that, oh yeah, that chicken foot that's in the window, you might want to eat that. No, I wouldn't eat that. So, it gives you a little flexibility as a person in a new country to either explore things or stick to what you know.
Okay, deadlines and more. All right, this is the fun part. Every trip is 6 spots. We do have payment plans, monthly payment plans for each trip and the deposit. There are certain things that we're going to do 2 months before the trip, 1 month before, so on and so forth. But 2 to 3 months before the trip, I wrote down the notes. Give me 1 second, because it's very, very important that we stay on schedule. I know I have some people who just signed up literally like the other day. I squeezed one more person in, and we had to talk about they didn't get a chance to have a session like this, but they didn't know in regards to what to do before and this, that, and the other. So you want to try to book your flight 2 to 3 months before, get your visas 2 to 3 months before the trip. Okay. If you can get the visas 3 months before, that's great. But when you are applying for the visa, make sure the start date, because your visa is not going to start until the day you enter the country. Just be mindful of that. Okay. I'll answer all questions at the end, you all. I'll answer all questions at the end. So just make sure that 2 to 3 months before the trip that you do your flight. We need your flight information. We'll need like a copy of your passport, a copy of your visa, and then your flight itinerary, because we have to pick you up from the airport, and the copy of your passport and your visa we have to give to the hotel. They have to have that. 1 or 2 months before, we're going to start having like more and more check-ins, making sure you got everything, planned. We want to make sure that, you have all the apps together, so on and so forth. And then the month before the trip, that's the last minute stuff. Okay. So just be mindful of the deadlines. If you are on the trip, if you're coming on a trip, we'll put all of that information in the WhatsApp group and what's to be expected. But we do have deadlines. And what I don't want is to do stuff at the last minute. I want to make sure we get everything done at the beginning. The last thing is that we do 2-day trips. So if you cannot make it to one of the bigger trips, I do have the 2-day tours. These are typically one-on-one private tours. People come here if they are sourcing with a supplier, and then if they wanted me to source more suppliers and we go to a few more suppliers while they are here, we do this as well. So it's not all, and the 2-day tours, we can schedule them anytime throughout the year. If you want to do more than 2 days, then we would talk about the pricing for 3 days, so on and so forth. But again, all of my prices, and I'll go to the website in a second, all of them are on the website. You want to book these in advance because we are parents, we run businesses, we have a lot of stuff going on. We also have people constantly coming to China, and we're doing these tours for. So we want to make sure and a lot of people, we've had people schedule their trips already, and they like, okay, I'm gonna schedule my trip and I'm gonna come see you. And then they find out, well, we don't do tours on these days. There are only certain days that we do tours on. Okay. So if you want a private tour, definitely you can come for the private tours. The private tours are between the hours of 6 a.m. I'm sorry, 8 a.m. and 6 p.m. You pay a deposit, you will get the China guide, you will get an agenda for those 2 days. And then before you come, you will pay the remainder balance of the one-on-one tours as well. And I'll go over the website. I'll show y'all that website in a second where to find this stuff. So before we do Q&A, let me go to my website so you can get this information, and I'll read your comments and then we'll have the Q&A. So again, on the website, if you go down, you'll see who should attend, all the trip information. If you click on the reserving, when you reserve a spot, you pay the deposit. You'll pay the deposit. And then once I get the information for the deposit, you'll receive an email, you will join a WhatsApp group, and then we'll start planning out your stuff from there. All the stuff that's included, what's not included, the China guide. Even if you're coming for a 2-day tour, you want to get the China guide as well off the website. You can read through this, on your own timing. And then everything that I talked about, probably a little bit more stuff, I'm not for sure, but I have frequent asked questions. Okay. So let me go to the questions. If you have a question, you can leave them in the chat and I'll answer them from there. Let me go back to the tour dates for y'all so you all can see these 3 dates. Okay, so I'm going in the chat. Just give me a second so I can read some of these comments. No, so the $2,600 is included in the price of the trip. That's just my fee and the agency's fee. How much extra out-of-pocket cash to bring? Yvonne, that's a really good question, because this is something I forgot to mention. If you all are buying items, I know people come here, they want to do the fake stuff and stuff like that. That's fine, but we have to be careful when we are shipping this stuff back. I do have freight forwarders. If you want to buy this stuff, it's completely up to you. I'm not for sure about how much
And with this new tariff stuff, we got to stay abreast of how the changes are rolling out every week. Because, for example, we had a situation where I purchased something and we moved to another country from Hong Kong to mainland China, and customs confiscated it. So these laws and policies are changing. That's not to put fear in anybody's heart. Like, if you could put it in your bag, or if you bring an empty bag and you're a lot for that, then that may be fantastic. But if you are carrying on, or at any time, if the guards at the airport want to stop you and check something, they will. They're not going to ask you to do it. They're just going to pull your suitcase off and they'll check it. And that's on both sides, America and in China. And if you're going from here to any other place, like if you're going to Hong Kong or going to Thailand or anything like that, I'm not, assuming that that's the case. But if you're going anywhere else, you should be abreast of what the international rules are on shipping and taking things to different countries, because there are some limitations. And
let me be very clear with the price. The price is not my agency fee and the agent fee, my fee and the agency fee. Those prices are included in the trip. The rest of the price for the trip is going towards your hotel, our transportation, and whatever amenities we have going on, if we have sightseeing events, so on and so forth. So that's included. That's not extra. The only thing you're paying outside of our trip is your flight and your visa. And I talked about the visa as well. You can, if you want to do the visa and go through an agency on your own and do the visa, you can. If you're going through an agency, you can find one between $350 to $450. If you can do the visa by yourself, that's great. The visa costs $190 something, I believe people are telling me now. These prices are changing constantly. So just be mindful of that. Again, next year's trip, because some people are like, well, why is it this much? Next year's trip, we are going to multiple locations, number one. And for one of the trips, we're going to a whole nother country, and Hong Kong is not cheap. We were looking at Hong Kong, trying to solidify some hotels in Hong Kong just for next week when we go into Hong Kong.
The market is changing.
Woo!
Constantly.
And we were like, do we want to spend this kind of money, right?
But the benefit is if you get in early, say a group got in early and they said, okay, I'm just doing a hypothetical. Say you were coming and the tour was in February and your fees and whatnot were paid up in November, then we could book. One of the things is you can't count other people's money. So if you paid in full, and we've had individuals who paid in full and then there was no problem. We just booked their hotel and you can get a good price. The closer we get to the actual tour and booking a hotel, of course, everybody knows the price will change.
So Tony, for the private tours, we tour on Monday and Tuesdays, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So our kids are homeschooled. Like I said, we work, we work, we run businesses. We have a lot of stuff going on. So Monday and Tuesdays, Friday, Saturday, and Sundays are our most flexible days for our tours. And with the tours, you may get me in the morning or my husband in the morning or him in the afternoon. It really just depends on which day you come. And those tours are booked in advance. Typically, our private tours are for those individuals who already are working with a supplier and they want us to come and do quality with them or even find another supplier. And it's more of a personal situation from them. So yes, you can definitely, it's catered to you. Again, all of our tours are catered to those who are coming. Please, can I clarify the total cost for the 12-day? Yes, EU, let me go to it's on my website as well. So if you go to, give me a second. Okay. So all the prices, as I told y'all before, everything is on my website. I don't leave nothing up for second guessing. So the 7-day tour for Guangzhou, the prices are here. The EU and China price is already listed. The China and Hong Kong prices are listed, and then my one-on-one tour prices are listed. It's very clear. It's right here. When you click on it, it tells you I even tell you down here how much the deposits are. When you click on it, you will see what the deposit is. It will also it should tell you what the trip has a non-refundable deposit, what the fee is, and then the monthly payments. So you will have monthly payments for each. So yes, everything is clear. Thank you. Does Canadian citizens need visas? Yes, you do. You do. Friday to Sunday to visit factories. Yeah, so factories are open 7 days a week, if y'all didn't know that, here in China. And it just depends on the factory. They don't close because it's Sunday. They don't have a lot of these factories don't have closed hours. They have holidays like the Golden Week right now, the Chinese New Year, so on and so forth. So please, can I clarify the total? Okay, we did that already. So yes, we tour Monday for the private tours. We tour Monday and Tuesdays, and then Friday, Saturdays, Sundays. So we don't tour on Wednesdays and Thursdays. So yes, if you come, just be mindful if you're coming, those are the days that we are available for private tours. So I'm glad this popped up. This is like the last thing I was going to address. And that is the visa. So let me just let me go down and make sure I didn't miss anybody's questions. I think I got everybody's questions. Okay, cool. So if you need to apply for your visa, you can go to my website. It will pop up, and this is the website that you will apply to online. Then you can go. So I'm gonna just do North America, and I'm gonna go to the US. Now, Houston is no longer, the consulate in Houston is no longer open. So if you are a US citizen, if you are near one of these cities, you can get your Chinese visa. If you are not, you will need an agent, and they will send your passport and do all your paperwork and send it to Washington for you. If you're going with an agency, if you want to do it yourself, again, I'm just going to click on Chicago so you can see how it looks. The Chinese online visa application, COVA, that's what they call it. You can apply for it here. The most important thing is when you click start application, this number right here is very imperative, because if you start this application and what if you've done it, and you didn't save it, or you closed out, or whatever the case may be. I made this mistake several times in the visa office it was a mess. And to fill this thing out, it takes a while. So the application ID, write this down. You are going to need this. I have a list of manufacturers and the addresses. Can I send you the addresses to see if any of the manufacturers you work with? So, Tracy, I typically don't, to be quite honest, I kind of source on my own. If you send them to me, that's fine. I will look at them, take a look at them. And I've only listen. My customers come to me for a reason. Sometimes these suppliers, you're thinking that they are amazing, and they are not. So you can send them to me. I can let you know, so on and so forth. Just to give you all a picture of where I am in China, so people know area. We'll say I have to have my, okay, UA, there it is. Lord have mercy. So Guangzhou. So this is the area we're going to be in. So we're talking about Shenzhen, Hong Kong, Dongguan, Guangzhou. Foshan is in here somewhere. Some stuff is pent in here. Foshan is not too far. Oh, there it is. Foshan. I don't know if y'all will be able to see it. Okay, yeah, Foshan. So these areas, this area all in here is where all of our consumer goods are coming from, a large portion of them. Okay, so this is the area we're going to be in. We're in Guangzhou. The speed train from Guangzhou to Hong Kong, because we will be taking the speed train. I believe it is, let me see. We take the speed train. To Hong Kong. Not interested. 50 minutes. No, an hour and a half. Okay. So this train is fast. Okay. So we will be traveling to Hong Kong from Guangzhou. We probably be traveling from Guangzhou, from Shenzhen to Hong Kong when we do that trip. Okay. I have or can you show me? Okay. Are you going to get the recording of the session after you call? Thanks for saying yes, I am. So if you typically, what I do is I put this session on my website. And if you go to my website again, cbsourcingagency.com, just click on the China tour. At the top, it's going to say information session pre-recorded, and you can watch this information session again, just in case you need to go back for reference, so on and so forth. So